You're lying to yourself. You say you're aiming higher. You say you believe. You say you're committed. But every move you make whispers the opposite. You hesitate. You question. You wait for signs that never come. You dress like you're struggling. You speak like you're unsure. You move like you haven't earned it. And that's why nothing changes. Because here's the truth. You don't get what you want. You get what you are. You're not broke because of the economy. You're broke because you act like someone who's broke. You're not stuck because of circumstances. You're stuck because your behavior confirms the identity of someone who stays stuck. This isn't about goals. This is about embodiment, identity, self-command. You don't wait to feel successful before you act successful. You act as if, until the world adjusts. You don't fake it. You claim it. You become it. Stop trying to get success. Start becoming the person who already has it. That's the only way this works. Everything you're chasing, the money, the power, the clarity, the freedom, it's locked behind one thing, your identity. And you've built your current identity around limitation. You say things like, I'm trying to improve. I just need time. I'm working on it. Those words are smoke. They keep you in the story of someone on the way, not someone who already is. Look at the ones who've truly mastered their lives. They don't move with hesitation. They move with precision. They don't need motivation. They operate from vision. You can feel it when someone's certain. When they walk into a room, energy shifts. Not because of ego, because of internal alignment. Their body, mind, and soul all point in the same direction. That's what you must build. And it starts by acting as if you've already arrived. Who do you think you are? Not rhetorically, literally. When you speak, when you work, when you rest, what does it say about who you believe you are? You don't need to chase a bigger dream. You need to destroy the small self-image that's hijacking your actions. Here's the lie. You think your behavior creates your identity. Wrong. Your identity creates your behavior, and your identity is a choice, not a feeling, not a phase, a decision. You decide, I am relentless, I am self-disciplined, I am worthy of massive success. And once you decide, you don't entertain thoughts that contradict it. Because here's the truth no one wants to face. If your self-image doesn't match your dream, you will sabotage, you will delay, you will fold under pressure. The subconscious will always fight to prove you right, even if that means failure. So stop negotiating with your limitations. You are not your past. You are not your trauma. You are not your excuses. You are who you decide to be, and nothing less. Stop moving like you're still struggling. You want to know why you haven't leveled up? Because you're still thinking like a beginner, still budgeting like a struggler, still acting like the underdog. It's time to close that chapter. Because here's what acting as if really means. You stop showing up late. You stop speaking doubt. You stop making decisions from fear. You eat like someone who respects their body. You train like someone with a mission. You wake up like someone who's already living the life they earned. No more, I'll start Monday. No more, once I feel ready. You act like it's done, and you become the person who finishes. Winners don't ask, what if I fail? They ask, who must I become to win? There is no fallback plan. There is no exit ramp. There is no pause button. This is the moment you declare war on your former self. Not emotionally, strategically, deliberately. Because every time you fold back into comfort, every time you shrink into old habits, you teach your brain that failure is safe. But when you act from vision, even when it feels irrational, you rewire everything. Anyone can pretend. Anyone can say the right words, post the quotes, repeat the affirmations. But what matters is what you do when no one's watching, what you do when motivation dies, what you do when the pressure hits. That reveals who you really believe you are. So stop focusing on appearances. and start building alignment. You act as if, not to impress others, but to build congruence. You stop being the actor and become the embodiment. You walk with quiet certainty. You speak with ruthless clarity. You live with internal peace. That's the power of acting as if. You're not lying to yourself. You're becoming who you were always meant to be, without asking for permission. Walk into rooms different. The way you enter a room should declare something, without words, without noise, without needing to prove. You walk in and people feel it. This one's different. Not louder, not flashier, just anchored. Because you're not here for validation. You're not chasing approval. You've already claimed your worth internally. And once that's established, the world bends to it. Opportunities show up. People respect your time. Doors open that were once locked. Why? Because you started walking like the one who belongs there. Not the outsider, not the desperate, the decided. Acting as if is about congruence between your vision and your vibration. Every word, every step, every breath. You become a walking signal of certainty, and certainty moves mountains. Stop asking for what you already deserve. You don't beg for success. You don't audition for freedom. You don't ask the world to treat you better than you treat yourself. You command better, by becoming better. That starts now. Stop apologizing for wanting more. Stop explaining your standards. Stop lowering your voice in rooms that weren't built for your past self. You've spent enough years talking like a maybe, enough time preparing, planning, waiting. This is the moment you shift into certainty, not because the facts say so, but because you decided. And decision is power. When you know who you are, you don't seek validation. You don't check the scoreboard every day. You don't need reassurance, because the scoreboard will always follow the identity, never the other way around. You act like a leader. You speak like a winner. You move like someone who already owns the outcome. The world won't believe it until you do. You want people to respect you? Start respecting your word. Start respecting your body. Start respecting your time. You want higher pay, deeper impact, stronger influence? Then upgrade your standard and never fall below it. People don't rise to your potential. They respond to your energy. You don't need to convince anyone of your worth. You need to embody it. The version of you who's already arrived. They don't chase results. They enforce standards. They don't tolerate mediocrity, and they outgrow it. Acting as if means cutting the cord to the old self, the one who hit snooze, the one who broke promises, the one who played nice with weakness. You no longer seek to be liked. You seek to be respected by yourself, because self-respect builds momentum, and momentum, once claimed, becomes unstoppable. You don't drift toward success. You march toward it, every day, without emotion, without exception. Your results will catch up. Don't mistake the lag for a lie. Just because you don't see results yet doesn't mean the identity shift isn't working. This is a universal principle. The inner world always leads. The outer world always follows. So when you start acting as if, when you begin living like the one who already has it, there will be friction. There will be silence. There will be time gaps. But keep moving. Keep choosing. Keep aligning. Your new habits are planting roots. Your new voice is being built. Your future is watching and waiting to match your new frequency. Most people give up right here. They start strong, but when the old results don't change immediately, they fold. They go back to begging, back to hoping, back to trying. Not you. You are the exception. You refuse to let appearances dictate identity. You refuse to live in reaction. You refuse to negotiate with doubt, because you know, when the internal command is real, the external world must obey. This is the new rule. You never break character. You are that future self, now. And that version of you doesn't retreat, doesn't question, doesn't slip. There's no such thing as off days, only off identity. You hold the frame, always, in discomfort, in boredom, in setbacks. You stay composed, you stay focused, you stay grounded. Acting as if means you've burned the exit, you've removed the safety net, you've silenced the noise. There is no version of this where you return to your old self. There is no timeline where you let weakness win. You've crossed the line. And now, you walk as one who already has it, not because the world said so, because you did. This is it, the moment the old self dies, and the real you walks forward. Not half in, not halfway, not eventually. Now this is the turning point, the fracture line between the life you've tolerated and the life you command. And it begins the second you stop trying to get somewhere, and instead decide you've already arrived. This isn't semantics, it's physics. You don't change your life through effort alone. You change it through alignment, through behavior that matches the vision, not the situation. You stop asking the world to believe in you. You stop looking for signs, for proof, for permission. You decide you are that version of yourself now. And you move through reality with that internal contract already signed. Because when the identity shifts, everything else bends. Your posture changes, your tone sharpens, your thoughts quiet, your execution becomes surgical. You don't need to feel ready. You need to act in accordance with what's already yours. This is not about faking it. This is about stepping into the energetic truth. You've already earned it. You're just catching up. Understand this. What you embody, you attract. What you exude, you invite. And what you expect, on a deep, unconscious level, you experience. You've been taught to chase. You've been trained to wait, to hustle from a place of lack. But the moment you flip the switch, the moment you start acting as if, you shift into a magnetic state, because you're no longer a seeker. You're a signal. You don't chase outcomes. You transmit certainty. You become the person who earns the deal, who commands the respect, who gets the call, the opportunity, the elevation, not because of what you've done, but because of who you are now. The money doesn't make the millionaire. The identity does. The results are delayed. Yes, but they're inevitable, because you've finally closed the gap. The world has no choice but to follow the command of a fully embodied soul. Never slip out of character. You must protect this shift with your life. You do not get to become this version of you for 3 hours a day. You do not get to drop into it when it's convenient. You become it, and you never leave it. Not when you're tired. Not when no one's watching. Not when results lag behind. Because this version of you is no longer a mood. It's your baseline. This is your new character, your new code, your new default. And no matter what happens, you never drop it. Storms come, you hold the frame. Doubt creeps in, you reinforce identity. Pressure rises, you get sharper, not softer. You don't run back to the old version of you, because that version is gone, buried, burned, replaced. You never break character. This is who you are now, permanently. Build the future in the present. You don't build a future from your past. You build it from your present identity. And the identity must come first, before the money, before the audience, before the accolades. That means you wake up every day with this thought: it is done. Not, I hope. Not, I'm trying. Not, we'll see. It is done. And because it's done, your actions are inevitable. Because it's done, your standards are non-negotiable. Because it's done, you show up with clarity, not confusion. This is how reality bends, not with hustle, with identity-level congruence. So while others guess, hesitate, and loop in confusion, you step forward as a finished product in motion. Your success is not a goal, it's a reflection of the frequency you carry, of the certainty you live in, of the decisions you refuse to unmake. This isn't a motivational high. This isn't a phase. This is your new operating system. There is no backup plan, no fallback identity, no safe, quiet version to return to. The old you can't survive this level of truth. The weak you can't breathe at this altitude. The average you can't operate at this frequency. That's why they're gone. Replaced by someone stronger, calmer, more deliberate. This version of you doesn't flinch, doesn't beg, doesn't fold. You walk into rooms like you own them, not because of arrogance, but because of deep, silent alignment. You speak like a leader. You move like a finisher. You work like someone with nothing to prove, because the mission is already settled. You are no longer someone in progress. You are a force in motion. No hesitation, no emotional turbulence, no return to comfort. You are the result. You are the proof. You are the vision, made physical. So stand up, speak less, decide faster, act cleaner, think like it's done, move like you already won, because you have. And now, the world will follow your lead.